What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Outdoor Junkies. Today we're not on the water, we're not fishing, we're not hiking, we're not camping. We are actually in the Outdoor Junkie kitchen. Today's gonna be an exciting, fun video that I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's actually been on my to-do list for quite a long time. And today we're gonna be making beef jerky. So sit back, relax, watch how we make some of the best beef jerky ever made. Yeah, that's right, I'm claiming it's the best beef jerky ever made. So let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is take our meat. I have about 5 pounds of top round roast. I like using the top round roast versus like the bottom round roast. You can use London boil as well. But my favorite is the top round roast, and that's what we're gonna do. So at the butcher shop they already sliced it for me. They sliced it a 1/4 inch, and what they did was that they cut it cross grain. That is super critical to know because it's gonna give you that really nice tear. It's not gonna be super tough, and it's just a really good way of cutting the beef. So we got that all ready to go. I like to do a couple little things, and let's get our beef out. So here is the beef, guys. Look how beautiful that beef is. What I typically like to do before I put it on there, make sure that there's not too much fat on it. Now the butcher did a really good job because I let him know that I didn't want too much fat on it just because of the fact that I'm not storing it for a long period of time. So here we go, man, here it is. This is how I like to cut it. I just take it and I cut it on an angle. Boom, and that's it. And that's what we're gonna do. We got this guy here. I like to take the pieces, that's a nice big piece. So this one I could cut in like thirds. Kind of like that, kind of like that. Not a lot of fat to take off this, just because the butcher did a really good job. There's this piece here. I just basically get it and I clean it up. I like to keep my pieces as consistent as possible. Look at that, guys. Woo-hoo. That's some good beef right there. This one I can cut like that. Put that guy like that. I mean, that is just some good beef right there. I just take it, I cut it up. On this one, we'll move that guy out of the way. I'll cut this like that. These are nice big pieces of meat. I like to keep the pieces nice and consistent. A couple different reasons for the way that they cook. It's gonna cook nice and evenly. But the pieces look large. Once you put them in the dehydrator, they really start to shrink. Put that guy on the side there. Cut off some of this fat. Make sure that you guys are using a pretty sharp knife. I like to cut that piece as equal as possible. Just a little bit of fat here. The one thing with the fat that I advise is if you want to keep it and store it for a long period of time, make sure you remove all that fat. Now typically for me, my beef jerky, if I make 4 to 6 pounds, probably typically lasts about a week, just because everybody's asking me for the beef jerky. Everybody wants to try it, and people that have tried it, man, dude, you don't know how many friends you got, man, until you make beef jerky, that's for sure. So we're just gonna repeat the process. So just like that, these are all cut up and ready to go. Now what I typically do with the leftover meat, the ones that had a lot of fat on it, there's some good meat here. I'll leave it, put it in a separate bag, I'll cook it up and I'll hook it up with my dog, or maybe I'll eat it with some steak and eggs. I definitely like to keep everything as consistent as possible. It makes a huge difference. I like cutting bigger pieces just because of the fact on the consistency itself, the cooking time, the taste, everything. If I start taking pieces that are smaller than my main pieces, it does make a difference on how it all turns out. So there you go, we got this all cut up, ready to go. All right, guys, so let's go ahead. We got on to our next step. Let me show you guys exactly how it should be done. First off, I like to use a soy sauce. Really doesn't matter which one you use. There are some with low sodium, which I would recommend, but we couldn't find it at the grocery store. So we're gonna go ahead and use this one. We're gonna open this bad boy up. We're gonna add 4 cups. 1, 2. That's 3. That's 4. Now typically I've been making beef jerky for a long period of time, so I really don't use it. I just kind of eyeball it just because I've been making it for a while. But for today's demonstrations, I'm gonna pop this out so you guys can have exactly what I'm making here. Next product we're gonna be using is dark brown sugar. The dark brown sugar, I feel, gives it more that taste versus the regular brown sugar. I don't know, something about the dark brown turns out to be better. This is about a 2-pound bag. I like to use about 1 pound of brown dark sugar. We're gonna open it up. Let me show you how we're gonna measure that. So what I typically like to do is take about half the bag. Looks about like that, right? You dump the other half in the bag. Okay, we got about half the bag left, so that tells me I got about 1 pound. So usually what I do is store this off to the side and get it ready for the next batch that I make. I got exactly what I need in this bag. The next product we're gonna be using, which is a big deal, if you wanna have that smoke taste, you wanna have that beef jerky taste, go ahead and use some liquid smoke, some hickory. My personal favorite. You can try out some different ones if you like. I like to use the whole bottle. Ooh, you can just smell this coming along already. I keep my ingredients, my seasoning that I use for this super basic, super easy. I tried using all different kinds of seasonings, and this one turned out the best for me, just keeping it super basic. So we're gonna go ahead and use our garlic. This is 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. I like to use about 2 teaspoons, just like that. Now my favorite thing to use with my beef jerky is this lemon pepper. This lemon pepper is so good, dude, it's not even funny. And this is really gonna give it that taste. Look at that. Ooh, I like to use a little more with the lemon pepper just because it's that good. It gives it that lemon taste and also that pepper taste. Last but not least, some onion powder. So we're gonna use about 2 teaspoons, or 2 tablespoons, I'm sorry. Now we're gonna go ahead and start mixing her up. This is a very important part of the process, stirring it really well, especially with the brown sugar. You gotta make sure that gets beaten in real good. Just like so. You want all that to break in. There is not a better snack to have when you're outdoors, when you're out camping, backpacking, whatever it is, out on an adventure, than beef jerky. Now, it never says that this is how it should be made. You guys can go ahead and add some of your favorite spices. Use whatever you guys like. The liquid smoke is the key. The dark brown sugar is the key. Those two is very important. And you can kind of tell when that brown sugar got mixed in really good with the liquid because there's nothing floating on the top. I could already smell this, guys, and it is amazing on how good this is. Okay, I think she's pretty good right there. Then what I do is take my meat, put it right in there. Each and every piece of beef jerky is getting dipped, making sure it's underneath, it's covered. Yeah, these are some nice big pieces of jerky. Not a bunch of little stragglers running around, dude. Like I said, again, it's all about the consistency. I'm so happy to be making this video. It's been so long I've been wanting to do this. Woo! Guys, this is smelling delicious. Look at the size of those beefs. Look at that. Man, it smells so good. That is all the beef jerky right there. Everything is fully submerged nicely. Now I go ahead and take an extra step, and it's something simple, but it's the attention to detail that really makes this stand out. All right, guys, so the next step I like to do, it's a little extra, but I feel like it makes a huge difference. So what I do is take these pieces, put them in the Ziploc here. Look at that, guys. Look at that. It's amazing. All right, we take all that, we put it in here. Then I like to take all my marinade, pour it all into the bag. These are 1 gallon bags, by the way. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. Try to let out as much of the air as possible. Now I take my little container and I put it in here like this. Just like that. And the reason why I like to put it in here, I put this in the fridge for about 4 hours. Some people do 2 hours, some people do 4 hours, some people do 8 hours. I really like the 4 hours. I feel like works really, really good. And then like every hour or so, I'll come in and I'll shake it up. And then what I do is I flip it. I shake it up again. And that's the reason why I like putting it inside the bag. Because I can really go back, shake it up, make sure it's nice and consistent. Once again, guys, consistency is what we're looking for. And that's all we do. Now, this is ready to go in the fridge. And I'll see you guys in about 4 hours. Stay tuned. All right, guys, our beef has been marinating. We are ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna shake her up real quick. Just get her ready. And this is why I like using it, because like every hour or two, I'll just come, I'll flip it, and I shake it just to make sure that marinade is perfect. And we're gonna put it in the strainer. Pour it all down there. Okay, go ahead and shake some of that loose. Let that drip down there a little bit. Look how nice that is, guys. Look at that. So beautiful, smells so good. One thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna take a piece of foil, just like that. Very, very important part. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take our beef jerky, lay it on there just like so. Wow, guys, I wish you guys could smell this right now. It's amazing. We're gonna put that on there just like that. The reason why I like to do this is I like to take off a lot of the marinade that's on top, because everything that we need is inside that beef jerky. It's been marinating for hours. So yes, and it doesn't make a mess, and just works better this way. I take this guy, I'll put a layer on top just like so. Put the top one on. I actually put one more on. It's a little bit of wasteful on the paper towels, but it's worth it, trust me. I just pat it down softly. I don't put too much pressure on. I just pat it down nice and soft and try to get the rest of that marinade off so it doesn't make a mess. And then boom. This makes such a big difference. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our trays, and what we're gonna do is start laying these in. I don't like to have them overlapping. This is how you want your trays to look, so nothing is overlapping. We're gonna take it, we'll go on to our next tray, just like so. Big pieces of jerky, guys. Look at that piece of jerky right there. If you wanna make these pieces smaller, I recommend doing it after everything is cooked. We're gonna take this, we're gonna put this off to the side. We're gonna put our bottom tray in. This is the Nesco dehydrator. This is an awesome, awesome dehydrator. I recommend you guys getting one. This is my second one that I bought, and I actually bought more trays so I can make more beef. So yeah, let's plug this guy in. We're gonna put this on the max setting, which is 160. Plug this bad boy in. This is a recipe for beef jerky that you guys gotta try. I promise you, it is so unbelievably good. So I will see you guys in about 7 to 8 hours. All right, guys, the moment we've all been waiting for. God, the aroma. Oh, it's just simply amazing. The whole house smells so good. So without further ado, let's get to some awesome, awesome beef jerky. And we're gonna open this up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Some beautiful homemade beef jerky, guys. I mean, we're talking some good big pieces, man pieces. Beef jerky is supposed to make you feel like a man. And guys, this is so, so good. So you know what? Let's try it out. Look at that. Look how easy that tears. Guys, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm missing something. You can't have beef jerky without a nice cold beer. That is so good. I wish you guys can have some of this right now. Make sure you guys make this recipe at home. It is unbelievable, I promise. Now, one thing I like to do, how I personally like to store it, I take one of these storage containers, just because it's at my house. And what I do, guys, look at this. Look at that. I just tear it and I put it in there. Guys, this is so good, not even funny. Amazing, tastes great, great for the trail, great if you're out there fishing. It's just overall awesome. So that is the end of today's episode. If you guys are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. It would mean so much to me. I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. The channel has been growing. I see you guys out on the next one. Deuces.